Yeah.
Man, I gained 10 pounds eating the red and the green M&Ms, bro. So quick with all on top of up today. How you brothers been for the week, man?
Oh, we've been good, man.
We've been good.
Good.
Yeah.
We can't ignore the ratings. I mean, this light skin thing is working for me and
I
Derik.
heard
You know what I'm saying?
it's going market. Where do we start?
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Follow, like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Make comments. We always like the comments, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We love to talk to you all. We love you no matter what you say about it. Gentlemen, man, I ain't see you guys in 7 days, man. I want to know how your week was. Talk to me, brother.
Yo, man, week was fantastic. I'm relaxed. I have released. I'm coming back on vacation. Just enjoying my time with my wife, man. We needed that time to really reconnect and just kind of chill out, man. You know, we had pretty good weather too. Came out a little bit better than we thought it was. We were supposed to get some rain. We barely got any rain. The highlight of the vacation, we found a nice little place out in Atlantic City. You got to check it out. I can't remember the name of it. I wish I could say, but anyway, we went with Pearson. It was right by the aquarium, matter of fact. It's in the aquarium area of Atlantic City. It's a nice little area, nice bars, nice restaurants. We went parasailing out there. First time in my life. Was fantastic. And now I'm here, man. You know, just enjoying my time with y'all. This is one of the highlights of my week. I know I'm keeping good company. I'm cool, and I'm here to chop it up, fellas. So that's what's up.
That's what's up. Rod, talk to me, brother.
No, I had a great weekend. This weekend was my wife's birthday weekend. So
Happy birthday,
right.
Big Sam.
Happy birthday, my love. We decided to do a weekend out in Jersey. We stayed in a hotel in Hoboken, and we had an amazing view from the room. We went out to dinner 2 nights straight, and we just spent some time together and, you know, talked and enjoyed each other's company. So I really had an amazing weekend, and Sam, I wouldn't want to do this with no one else besides you.
Aww, so
hey, that's a strong brother right there, man.
You know, I'm pink, Rodney. I love love, man. I love black love, man. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, that's my wife, y'all.
All right.
Yeah. Yo, man, that's what's up, though, Rod, man. Fantastic, man. Good
yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Rod.
No, just saying that. Like I said, I wouldn't want to do it with no one else.
Yeah, happy birthday,
happy birthday, Big Sam.
Yeah, hold on.
Beautiful wife. Both of you guys are beautiful wives.
When that boat is pulling you, you're
it's going up. You look around, you see everything is quiet. We looking down at damn what do you call those? Well, my wife will tell you right now what it is. I can't remember what they call it.
Sharks. That's what
they took us out. We were looking for dolphins. They wanted to show us some dolphins, but we couldn't find the dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
We found the stingrays. That's what they were. Stingrays.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw some stingrays. Yeah, so that was cool.
Wow.
We knew stingrays out in Atlantic City, man.
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
You're the best husband ever. Absolutely. That's wonderful love right there, man. That's what's happening. Yeah, stingrays.
Yo, I was gonna try to parasailing when I was in Dominican Republic until they was like, you have to sign a waiver.
Yeah.
They make you sign a waiver. Yeah.
Yo,
I just like this. I'm waving to the.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's a weight requirement too for parasailing.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Yo, they let my big ass up there. It was a struggle.
Yeah, I think
I look like Dumbo, that motherfucker, man. My big ass I did that shit one time, man. That was scary, man.
It's definitely bucket list material, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
I ain't doing that shit ever again. It was the whole fucking parasailing shit was scary for me, man. We fell off the jet skis trying to get out to this shit. That's a whole nother story.
It's the only thing that I still haven't done.
Parasailing?
You jumped out of a plane yet? You jumped out of a plane?
No. I never said I wanted to do that.
Key said you missed that word.
Yeah. You gotta understand the things that I want to do. I want to do it by choice.
Right.
That jumping out of the plane shit. No. There's a weight requirement for that too. I won't meet it. So, but No, I always wanted to do parasailing, but I never got a chance. I did hot air ballooning. That was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, the thing is,
yeah, my wife was skydiving. Yeah, she's taking in.
yeah, no.
Yo, I hear that.
She's the daredevil in the family. I see that already.
Yeah.
Hey man, she's out there. She'll do whatever, man. She's with whatever experience, man. That's what I love her for, you know.
That's what's
Absolutely. If the plane ain't getting ready to crash, I ain't jumping out of it.
I'm with you.
That's smart. That's a good.
Yeah, if it's crashing and we got to jump, yeah, I'm going to go for it because you know.
And then you wait till it gets 10 feet from the ground to jump.
No, that's probably the worst time to jump.
Yeah.
You skip like a rock.
Yep, skip like a rock. When they find your ass, you just be a piece of flesh, all just burnt up.
It never goes too good for black people when we get those fucking strawberries on it. That shit look bad.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's some good shit, man. Kelvin, how was your week, brother?
My week was eventful. You know, hung out with my closest friend Marsha. Went to H-Town. And for her birthday, so it was cool.
Birthday,
you know, I gotta
Marsha.
represent all the
Happy
July
birthday.
babies, all the July babies.
That's what's up.
Look, you know, went to Houston and tried to eat up everything, Papa Do's and all the spots. Went there, and then drove to New Orleans, and
Nice.
and that was a good look. That was a good look. But I'm gonna say this, and it has to be said. It has to be said. Okay, I'll just say this. This doesn't have anything to do with race. It doesn't have anything to do with gender. I would just say when the people make clothing, the reason they put the sizes on the back of them is for you to match.
Oh God, I'm talking crying already, man.
They do that because they want you to have a gauge. So certain things, like just hypothetically. The S that say small, that's only for some people. You get what I'm saying? So, some people misinterpret it. So what I'm just saying is we went to New Orleans, down there, French Quarter, Bourbon Street, and everything. First of all, I want to say this. They are doing the honor, a tribute to COVID down there. Okay, they want to make sure that there's 20,000 people out there. 2 of them had masks. Me and Marshall. I tell you, it's a bad look. But no, we have to start. You got to make a decision. If you want to wear certain things, you got to do what it takes to wear it. That's just it. That's it. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear this. I wear what I make me feel good. Listen, and make everybody else feel bad, though. You cannot do that. All right, the sundress is not for everybody, right? And I'll admit, I ain't built, so the muscle shirt not for everybody either. But we got to have a meeting. We've got to have a black people meeting. Because we have to do better as a people. And as I got there, I realized something. No matter how far we've traveled, no matter where we're going, we will never... Google get somewhere as a people and watch the MapQuest tell you. But no, on the real, that's my closest friend. Had a great birthday. We was chilling and had a great time. A real fun week. Really fun week. And I went check it out. Went to the swamp tour and had a chance to check out some alligators and stuff like that. So that was cool. And everything down south is fried, and I ate everything. I ate fried lobster tail. I mean, everything that was there. So it was a good look. And we had a great time. But that's
It wasn't about race.
It wasn't about race. But see,
that was a slip. That was a Freudian slip.
But see, people might take at the size S. That letter S is like super. So it works for everybody that's big like me. It wears super clothes. You know what I'm saying? Super size clothes. So that's what the S stands for. M is for massive. And the L stands for let's go, it's for me. So you know that was important class back in the day.
So what's up, D? What's up with you?
My week was good, man. We went on a little walking trail, man. It was good up in I can't remember, somewhere upstate somewhere. It was nice, man. But my knees are barking now, man. I had bad knees. Had to get an injection today. My knee, man. Tomorrow I'm gonna MRI on my knees, man. My knees are doing bad, man. I'm turning old real fast on everybody, man. But I had a good time.
Don't do it.
Yo, speaking of gators, man, I had some gator this weekend. I went to a barbecue. My friends had to get. There it is, right there. Thank you, Jamie.
Oh
Had some
man,
barbecue gator. It was very good. Well, shout out to my friend Roxy for them. Her and her husband invited me over. She used to be one of my old students. They got that joint food up from New Orleans, man. That was gator. They eat all kind of stuff over there, man. They
Wow.
Why?
yeah,
Why is
it tastes
the
like
head?
chicken.
yeah.
Why is
they
the
had-
head? Why is the head still on it?
It was
They
the
want
whole
you to
gator.
know what you're eating.
I want to know where the skin went so I can have some gator shoes. I want to be out here pimping. You know what I'm saying? I want to be out here pimping. I want to make my gators fuchsia. You know what I'm saying? But they eat all kind of stuff, man. They talking about they had cobra bites before, something like that. I don't know, some python bites. They eat all kind of stuff. They eat everything from the rooter to the tutor, man. They a little different, man. They like
I'm mad that it was
black
on there with like the regular food too, like
Regular
the hamburger stuff right under it. Like,
no, they had the hamburgers on a different grill. Hand dogs, hot dogs.
Thank God
grill.
for that.
All that other shit was on that one grill right there. So, yeah, it was a little different, man.
this the alligator section over here.
Yeah, man, that's like look about 3-4 foot gator, man. The little kid, the funny thing, the little girl wanted the head.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So everybody was eating that
So-
joint, man.
It wasn't scaring the kids at the cookout.
It was one like you said, Robbie, that one random baby at the
Yeah.
bar. the one random baby was scared at first, but then she wound up taking the head home.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pulling out the spine. It was wild. It was different. It was different, man. It was
But how did it taste?
It was good. It was good. It was decent. And not my forte. I won't do it again. Probably. I'll probably do the bites. If it was fried, I'd probably eat it. Everything tastes good fried.
In other words, it didn't taste like chopped barbecue.
No, nigga. I mean, brother. That's what I'm saying on the show. But you had me when you say chopped barbecue, it brings out the native in me.
I know.
That's one of my favorite southern dishes. Now I don't eat the pork, but my mother makes it in she makes a turkey chopped barbecue, which they same. And some of my family have got off the pork, and they make two at our family reunions every year. They have pork and they have what you call turkey one. That's my favorite all time.
Okay, so before we move on, I got to ask you this question because this happened to me. Have you ever been in a situation where somebody makes you some food, okay, and it's just not gonna work? The food is just you know what I'm saying? Like somebody will make you something, and then you don't eat it, and then they ask you later how it tasted. What do you do?
You know,
go ahead, Rodney. I'll let you take that first.
Let me build off of it. Did you ever notice, like, you go to somebody's house and the nastiest food, not just to add on to that, Kelvin, they give you the most of the thing that's nasty.
Right.
So now you got this big hunk of whatever it is on your plate. And you know you ain't gonna finish it, and no matter what, it just looks like it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger for you. But I don't. The thing is, to answer your question, I try to slip it into the garbage. That's what I try to do
all the time. All the time. You get up to the trick is you get a whole bunch of napkins, like you clean your face. Right? You put it on top of your plate, and you just kind of in the garbage real quick.
The plate while you're at it.
Yeah.
And later, if they ask you how it was, what do you do?
You lie.
You say it was delicious.
You lie.
Yeah.
If you like that, then I got more for you next week.
But the chances that you're taking when we lie and we say that it was delicious is that they gonna expect you to eat some more or take some home.
Yeah.
All right, so check it out. When I was a kid, my mother sent us over one of her friends' house, this lady named Carla, right? And she ate my sister and I some soda. You ever see soda when it's in like a cup with got grease in it and you can see like this blue film on top?
Hell no.
I never forget that. I just couldn't do it. I was like, I just had to get the beating because I'm not doing it. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I'm sorry.
I can't, man. You just say and you lie and you keep pushing. If they try to I've been to a family reunion where not family, a Thanksgiving where I didn't take home no leftovers.
Wow.
That's how. So I just let that shit. I went on home, snuck out the house without asking for anything.
But that's the first thing you're gonna find out. What's the first question they ask, man? Who made the greens, right? That's the first thing off rip.
Potato salad.
Yeah, you're right. Who made the potato salad? Yeah. You find that out first. That'll let you know how the rest of the food is going.
Yeah, and then when your interracial couple cousins come over and the white wife make the potato salad with the raisins, everybody is done. She destroyed Thanksgiving.
Or
You know who made the potato salad, right?
yeah.
Once you put raisins in any black folks' food, it's over. If that shit ain't bread, if it's not in bread pudding, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
But
if you put raisins in that
to
shit.
add on to that, I went to a family function like that, and a relative's white wife, but she didn't make potato salad. She made a quiche.
Oh, that shit stays too.
I don't know a black family that basically everybody's rushing to get the quiche. You know what I'm saying?
No quiche, no meatloaf.
Yeah.
No
fruitcake.
No casserole. No casserole.
Casserole.
Yeah, no casserole.
No.
You only have fruitcake if you're West Indian. West Indian people for some reason love fruitcake.
They put cheese on it. They put it with cheese.
They love fruitcake. They love fruitcake. They love fruitcake. That's the only time you see it. If it's that shit ain't a carrot cake, you may get away with some raisins here. It depends how people like it, but you can't put raisins in black folks' food. Not Thanksgiving. Fair warning.
Well, you don't want roach. You don't want no raisin in it because it looked like roaches.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts on that.
Because it looked like it was roaches.
Facts on that.
They're gonna be like, wait, that wasn't raisin.
Yeah, wait a minute, that wasn't a raisin. It was moving.
Oh man.
It was moving.
All right, man. Let's get into the show. First up tonight, we got politics, gentlemen. New York Attorney General finds Governor Cuomo sexual harassment of multiple women. President Biden calls on him to resign. Should he? What you guys think?
You should.
Yeah. Yes.
He shouldn't. Oh, go ahead. Yeah. I'm gonna explain why. Go ahead.
I think. All right. First of all, let me preface this by saying I think he did it. Secondly, and I'm gonna tell you, and I believe
that already took to my next question, but go ahead.
I believe
you were ahead of us, Kelvin. You were ahead of us.
Check it. I believe in due process. I really believe in due process, and he deserves it. I think what told on to me was really that pre-recorded message that someone wrote for him. I just don't think it went over as well. And then the other thing is, first of all, it's foul that Al Franklin don't have a job, and Cuomo does. But I think the reality of it is there's too many women in this particular instance, and I don't see a clear motive behind it, like political gain or whatever like that. Cuomo has this reputation. And it just really, I think he should resign. They're gonna impeach him. Cuomo I think he's done, and I think it's over. And I think it's a wrap. And I don't think.
Yeah, Sean, he should resign.
Sean, what up, baby?
I don't think that he's not going to survive the impeachment, and it's going to cost this state a lot of money. And I don't think we can afford that right now. And I do think it's a wrap. I think it's over. But go ahead, D. Derek.
Derek, I'll chime in last. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I think that you touched on it first. Due process. All right. Ask yourself, if he was Republican, would he resign? You know,
he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
Right. So, and that's the thing. You know, just politically. You know, I'm not getting into whether he was innocent or guilty or whether just politically, strategically. I think he should stick it out. He should wait, see where it lands.
Let me jump in and make an amendment. You're right.
Let the people decide.
You're right.
If he gets by, and let the people decide when it's time to vote if they want him back or not. You know what I mean?
Wait, hold on. Let me say this, Derek. Derek, I'll say this. Let me retract that. I think he should resign if he's guilty. If he knows he did it. Don't put New York through that.
But see, Shauna just says if he gets impeached, he'll lose his pension. So he might even. And so also even if he's found guilty, it's a wrap anyway. You know what I mean? He's it's over.
Shauna was one of the people testified against him. I'm joking, Shauna. I'm joking. I'm bugging.
Yeah, you don't get in trouble for that.
Joking. Don't have me if I'm joking.
Hey, listen. What I'm saying is, just politically, man. You just gotta see where it lands. And that's what it is. This is New York. Actually. This is, like you said, this being a blue state. If he gets past it, I think he's got an even chance of winning re-election. You know what I mean? Just based off of this being New York, So, I think the proper thing would just be going through with that fight. I would
Black women gonna get the money. See, Shauna said she's gonna sue first. She's gonna get the bag.
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna go get the bag.
She's going for the bag. I ain't mad at that shit. Word up.
What you think, though, D? What's going on? What you think?
No, I'm gonna let Rodney go. You want
okay, Rodney, go ahead.
Well, Okay, I'll go. The thing is, I'm going to go in a different direction than both of you guys, but a little bit similar. I think he's going to resign, and the reason I think he's going to resign is because, first of all, the evidence is overwhelming. That's number one. I think there was like 179 witnesses, and then like 11 women were interviewed. I feel that, first of all, the statement from the president also hurt him really bad too, because he shows that he's not going to have the Democratic support. They're already rallying for his resignation. Now, the thing is, if he takes it to an impeachment, all the way to impeachment, it will damage his legacy even more. He'll go down in history as being impeached. And you're right. She's right. He loses his pension as well. So the thing is, resigning probably would be his best alternative. The other thing is, too, there is still a case coming with him criminally for some inappropriate touching stuff. So there's a lot there. And I think Spitzer resigned and had a smaller case. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Cuomo's case is much bigger than that. So I'm going to lean towards he is going to resign. He's playing it. He's trying to stretch it as long as he can. But at the end of the day, another thing, too, the Democrats already have the numbers in the Senate to impeach him. Yeah. So I think he will resign.
But you think they would? You think they would actually impeach him?
Everybody,
absolutely.
Derik,
they will.
Everybody's bailing.
They're going to. The Democrats don't move like the Republicans. Derik, you're 100% right. If this was a Republican, he would resign. They wouldn't impeach him, and they would let him sit up in there, and he could continue to do it.
Yeah, they would hold the line.
They would hold the line, absolutely. But the Democrats are not going to do that. They're not going to support him on this. They're going to turn against him, and they already have. They're already turning now. You know what I'm saying? He's losing his support every day. So I really kind of feel that he is going to resign.
This is what I think. This is what Andrew Cuomo should do to me. He need to find Marion Barry's publicist, because Marion Barry, he dug in deep. Yeah. Bitch set him up, smoke a crack. Well, that's what he said. These ain't my words. This is his words. So Marion Barry dug in deep, right? And he let the story play out. The one thing with Cuomo has, like Derik said, I agree with all you guys' points. Cuomo has the people who like him more than than the people that's in politics. He burned a lot of bridges in politics. He killed a lot of bridges. He might resign, but if another different news story come out, he might survive it. But I don't know. He need to call Marion. Two things we got to look at, though. Virginia's governor never stepped down, right? The lieutenant governor behind him that did that crazy shit too behind him, they didn't step. This is a little bit more because he got like 179 witnesses, like Rodney said. He got like 11 women, like you said, Rodney. Yeah. But they all rode the wave. He do some other shit right now. If Cuomo say right now, come up with some shit saying he giving checks out to people. He got the people behind him. He might change it. I'm serious. I'm serious. If he come out, remember George Bush came with them George Bush $400 checks, $300 checks. It was.
Yeah, that was all time, bro.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to survive it. I really don't.
I'm just saying. If he call Marion Barry's people, 1-800 crack me. And
Marion Barry, he did have the people behind him, and then they also sold it.
Ray, what up, Ray?
Without losing his job.
They also sold it that it was a conspiracy theory against Marion Barry or whatever, and it was a different time. But no, I see your point, D. I do see what you're saying, but I still think the Democrats they're gonna make it get out.
It wasn't just a different time. Marion Barry was in an all-black city. He's in Chocolate City.
Yeah, that's another thing.
They wasn't letting him go. They didn't care.
They love Marion Barry because everybody had a crackhead in their family. He could show up to ball games, high school football games. The guy that was acting mayor, whatever, coming in, Marion Barry show up. It's a rap. He got the crowd applause. Marion Barry was the people's mayor. That's what I'm saying. Sharp James, motherfuckers like that. They survived shit. You know what I'm saying? They just survived shit.
Sharp James was corrupt as a motherfucker.
Oh, Sharp James was selling everybody. Sharp James was selling ass on one quarter and the fire trucks on the next. Everything you're doing. You really letting go, man. Salute, man. Salute, man. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the thing with politics, you need the money, right? So you need the Democratic Party to help you run for it. But right now, when they're taking surveys, right now, people honestly don't care. It's the craziest thing.
Oh, no. The latest survey, and this is tonight, that 63% of New Yorkers think he should resign now.
Wow. Okay. So
more than half of New York, more than 1 out of 2 New Yorkers think he should resign. Everybody is breaking out from him. I mean, his closest supporters, some of his former supporters did a rally in front of his office in Midtown, saying that he needs to go. They even did a song out there today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to my ho ho ho, Cuomo must go. I mean, it was just bad. I mean, it's not to drop a verse. It's bad.
And one of the witnesses in the criminal case is a state trooper too, a female state trooper.
Yeah.
So he's got to battle with that. That holds a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying?
And then he made a major mistake. His scriptwriter made a major mistake at the end of it. At the end of his statement, he says, if anybody wants to use this as a way to gain political points, what you're really doing is kind of dishonoring those who really have been.
Yeah, he slipped that one. Yes, he did.
So now you're saying these women are lying. That changes everything. That changes everything.
Kelvin, once again, you prove my point. Look for Marion Barry. Is Marion Barry's PR person alive? Please.
And I'm also leaving. I just remembered I left something out too. Like he still got that nursing home scandal coming up too.
Right.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
And wrote a book about the pandemic while we're in the pandemic.
Because he's riding a high. That's why he profited off a good time.
Everything y'all are describing to me sounds like why you wouldn't reelect him. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know, maybe he might just try and take his thing. You know, try and take it to the mats, man. You know,
well, Derik, if you don't know this, if he does get impeached, that means he can never run for that office again.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to go that far.
Considering what you just described, you think that if he resigned, he ever would try and go for that office again? I mean, it might be a moot point. You know what I mean?
No, it may be. But what I'm saying is this. In other words, his father was beloved by a lot of people. I get the impression that he thinks that this is some, you know, like inherent thing in his family that he could be the governor. I think he dropped the ball. I think at the end of the day, this is it. People didn't like him naming the Tappan Zee Bridge after his father. Either Cuomo is known to be a bully to a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's the issue here. But above all of this, regardless of that, I'm just saying it just appears these women to me don't appear to be lying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, if he resigns, he can run for president.
If he resigns, it makes everything stop, except for the criminal case. They could still continue the criminal case. But if he just resigns, then it's basically.
If he resigns, I think at this moment his political career, public service is over.
Yeah. I mean, look, like you said earlier, Kelvin, Al Franken. Al Franken was one of the biggest money raisers for the Democratic Party, and they still got rid of him. And that was a picture of something he did years ago when he was like a comedian, and he still had to go.
Right. Democrats to me just dumb on certain things, man. I'm not saying against women.
Cuomo could have survived this. Cuomo could have survived this 10 years ago.
Yeah, he probably could have.
This Me Too movement and Time's Up and all that, it's a wrap.
Well, before he resigns,
there was a question.
He can't for anything, but before he resigns, I think he better address that. That's got to be part of a deal.
I don't know if that's true.
Because let me not be.
I don't know if that's true.
Let me not be.
He can't run for this office. I don't know if that's true because Weiner resigned and was guilty and ran for Congress. Yep. And then, of course, played himself again and was trying to talk to some 15-year-old girls online.
And Weiner tried to run for mayor at one time, right?
Right, that was. He left Congress and ran for mayor. Right,
and
so you can run.
Spitzer tried to run for something too after he resigned.
I'm gonna be real with you. Cuomo could beat De Blasio little head up. I can tell you that. No matter what he did.
He probably could come back and be the mayor. Least,
well,
right?
they're saying that Letitia James wants to be the governor. That's why he claims that's why she's coming after him because she wants to.
No, she's not coming after him for that. Anybody named Letitia ain't nobody to play with.
Correct. Yo, there was a question. I think it was Miss Sally that asked the question.
Yeah.
We didn't answer it.
Yeah, we didn't.
Can you pull it back up, Jamie? Yeah.
Do you think a Republican can become governor in New York if Cuomo resigns or gets impeached? That's a real good question.
No, I'm going to say no. It's too liberal of a state.
Yeah,
too
liberal.
Wait, hold on. No. It's too liberal of a city. It's not too liberal of a state. Upstate New York is Republican. But because the Democrats have the office, they'll get to put somebody in it. Remember when Spitzer had to resign, they put Patterson involved. So they'll be able to name the lieutenant governor can probably take over and finish the rest of the term.
But if even at the election this next year for governor, I think, right? I don't think a Republican wins still in New York. I mean,
I don't think so either.
But won.
No. That was, like you said, that was then. I don't think he can run now. Well, the things
but New York State is red. New York City has more people. And it's blue.
Even, but you got to look at all the House is all Democrat. They went in those upstate cities and stuff like that. It's changed. It's totally different. Pataki, what Pataki did to people now with those crime bills, no one in New York will ever go for that shit again. Ever. Not for a long thing. That was a different kind of wave with the media now when people get social justice and stuff like that. No Republican can win the state. You have to be a middle of the road Republican to win in the state.
Yeah,
very middle of the road. Yeah, very middle of the road.
Yeah.
A rhino, as they call him, right? Yeah.
But don't forget about Dwight, though.
Dwight who?
The white man. That's what I'm telling you.
Can't forget about him. Can't forget about him.
Yeah, so more Mario Cuomo news. I think this was kind of messing him up too.
Somebody said, Danny said that they're going to have their first female governor.
Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, it's about time. Anyhow, Cuomo also now requiring a vaccination against COVID-19 test weekly, or have to show that you've been vaccinated for New York State workers. It's going to be required, and this might put a nail in this coffin because with the old anti-vaccine people and people tired of wearing masks, and now with the test, this also might be another.
I'm gonna be real with you. When you got these allegations over your head, it's so hard to listen to everything else. I can't run. Like outside of that. Oh, by the way, we got to make sure everybody's safe. No, they're trying to tie people's hands now, and that's going to create a bigger storm. I said this from the gate. This is really divisive. People are really. I mean, man, we're losing right now. People are getting sick. It's like, man, I thought we was out of this. And it's like, it's like a movie. You run away from the killer, turn the block, he right there. You like,
or it was like the killer around the corner.
Like hoping, it's like I thought it was over.
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So yeah, I know they're trying, and down here, what they're trying to do is they're trying to force people's hands because they're like, you can't go in any indoor. Basically, they're gonna make it where you can't go in any indoor theater, restaurant, club, anything indoors. You can't go if you're not vaccinated now. So that's going to become. So I heard a young man on the news today. He's like, I don't want to get it, but at this point, I might as well. And that's what they're looking for, and that's what's happening. So I don't know.
That's designed that way. It's designed to make you get it. That's what it is.
Yeah,
you figure if you can't go out and you can't mingle with everybody,
exactly. They tried everything else.
It's definitely going to divide a lot of people.
No question. No question.
Without a doubt. And the thing is, I think there's going to be a lot of pushback as well, too.
Oh, it is. It is.
I agree with you.
Yeah, there's going to be a tremendous amount of pushback on it.
Right, Sean. Word. Stay your ass home.
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
Maybe the thing is, all the people with dirt bikes and fireworks to stay home. Don't come out the public. All the dirt bike motherfuckers will stay home, and I can drive on the highways and clear traffic. Yeah, they can't go nowhere on them damn dirt bikes.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before off the air. Like, I think they're going to do everything to avoid another shutdown. I don't think they're going to do another shutdown. I think it was too traumatic for the country, and they're going to do everything. They're going to make everybody live with it, and basically try to pressure people into getting vaccines. That's basically how I see it.
Man, listen, people got to realize they already pressure us to get vaccines, so kids got to get vaccines to go to school.
Well, no, you're gonna be able to go remote.
Who's going to enforce the rule in restaurants?
Well, that's another thing. They make
Letitia's going to be at the front desk.
Right now, they're just going to make the restaurants enforce it themselves, and I think later on in August, then it's mandatory. But the thing is, I mean, with the way business was and people trying to get back on their feet, I can't see restaurants turning money away.
That's a point.
I can't see them saying, "Oh, you're not coming in. You want to spend money, but you can't come in because you're not vaccinated."
You want people for them to come in?
What are going to happen? Like, all right, when the beginning of COVID, a lot of you guys forgot to remember.
You just serve money and learn how to cook oxtail. There you go.
But in the beginning of COVID, when it first hit, and they had task force going out to barbershops and stuff like that and checking to see if people were doing that, making sure you had certain stuff, because we had to have them inside our buildings. My man Suge had a barbershop, and the people come in and they give you a warning the first time. Then the fine was like something like $15,000. So that's going to make, if they have that task force really going in, that's going to make restaurants really do this thing. The thing is, right now in the hood, they got fake COVID-19 cards now saying you got vaccinated. They $150.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The thing is, too, you can create a task force, but you can't get enough people to fly planes and fucking keep from canceling flights.
Well, Spirit Airlines can't get motherfuckers to do shit. That motherfucker. Well, that's another subject. But yeah.
Oh, by the way, I
this
took
is the thing. This is what I want to understand.
So JetBlue, no Spirit Airlines.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know what happened with JetBlue. You know, we passed just them screens now. We gotta come up with something else. I mean, first of all, I was on the plane with the first flight attendant ever. Okay, she started it. Okay, that's the first thing. Secondly, and I catch a lot of heat for this. Years ago, there used to be some requirements for flight attendants. And I know people think that it was, you know, either sexist or whatever. But if you can't get down the aisle without bumping into everybody sitting next to the aisle seat,
listen,
then okay, you know what, this is already going wrong. I'll just say this: the JetBlue plane was really, really old. I was surprised. I mean, the lady pulled down the thing next to me, and it was broke, the tray. And I want to say this: airlines, as much as y'all charge, this whole thing about, you know, water and not even peanuts no more. Talking about, you know, some like Raisinets or something. We have to do better than that. Seriously, y'all charge too much for that. Really. You be starving, get on a plane and be hungrier. And it's just they know they wrong.
Oh man, you gonna say something right before I go to the next topic?
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
All right. So, speaking of COVID-19, Auntie Lindsey Graham tests positive for COVID and credited vaccination for his mouth symptoms. So Auntie Lindsey,
you snuck that shit in too. But I heard it. You snuck that one in, boy.
Listen, man. Come on, man. I'm sorry. I mean, Senator Lindsey Graham.
They don't get scrolled.
Any thoughts on Lindsey Graham, gentlemen?
You know what? Some people that you want to go away never go away.
Yeah.
They just don't die.
Graham gonna live to be 150. He's gonna be here forever. Just really, him and Mitch McConnell.
The devil is winning. The devil's winning.
Right. Like I'm like really like the COVID don't even bother me. It probably got better. Probably healthier.
Yeah. They probably added 10 years to his life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Auntie Lindsey, boy, him. I don't know, man. I'm tired of him.
But he's vaccinated and he still caught it, right?
Yeah. But they would never said it was going to be 100% like any other, like polio. Everybody can still get things and nothing 100%. But I wish it would have got him though. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing, right? Like people that are vaccinated, right? They can still get it and they can still spread it, right? But we're just focused on people that are not vaccinated. But the people that are out and about have this real false sense of security that they're safe. Yep. So you're going out and you're spreading it even more when you're
not wearing a mask.
Correct. And you're not wearing a mask. It gives a lot of people a false sense of security, like they're the safe ones. Yeah. When it's not necessary to me, they're spreading it too, just like people that are not vaccinated. So
I'd like to see the numbers. I'd like to see some numbers.
I think we caught up in the spreading more to death, and I think that's what he's worried about, like trying to keep people out, because the Delta thing is taking people out. I got a friend that oxygen levels dropped to 73%. So that's what I think is more like, it's like people have sex. It's a false security that you have a condom, but you can catch all kind of other shit, crabs, all kind of shit can break. So seatbelt.
I think that's a very good
I can wear the seatbelt, and if I crash, I'm gonna live. No, you could die still. So it's like those kind of.
It's a good example. But the mask is hard, man. The mask smell like it just woke up.
Yeah, facts. False sense of security. But to me, the issue is they've told you that you can. The bottom issue is they've told you that even though you're vaccinated, you can still pass this thing on.
Catch it,
and you can still catch it. But everyone's focusing on you getting vaccinated. That I'm not going to say that doesn't help, right? But really, what they really need to concentrate on more than anything is the anti-maskers. I think it's the anti-maskers, more than it is the anti-vaxxers. You know what I mean? So, because at the end of the day, we know what was happening when everyone put their mask on. The numbers were going down, right? So I think it's the vaccinators, the people who don't. I think the people who are vaccinated. I think the people who don't wear their mask, regardless of whether or not you're vaccinated or not, that's really going to cause a lot of problems, especially with this new Delta virus going on. This new Delta.
And what Miss Sally said is right. What she said is right. It's all new variant. Yeah, Sam, we want to bring it back up if you can.
Yeah. It's all the variants that's causing these breakthrough cases. Absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think that I'll just end it like
keep coming.
Either they don't know, they don't show.
Now, but the thing is, I kind of feel like they just want everybody to live with it and still be out, so things can still circulate.
We have to decide. We have to decide, man. Like, are we going to do what's necessary? Like, with the biggest change is going to be behavioral in the public. You know what I mean? Regardless to whether or not a person turns around and vaccinates himself, regardless to the efficacy of the vaccine, once we figure that out, all right, through studies, it's going to be the biggest change is going to be behavioral. Do you wash your hands? Do you wear your gloves? Do you wear your mask? Do you social distance? Those things are not going anywhere. They're telling you that we're going to keep getting these variants.
But the thing is, too, you keep having these events to generate money where people are crowding there.
Lollapalooza.
Correct. We just had the Versus at Madison Square Garden last night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing is,
you're supposed to have been vaccinated to get into the garden.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure everybody was vaccinated.
I don't think nobody from Dipset got it.
No, I'm sure what they need a vaccine. They need a vaccine to revive their asses.
They look like the virus, motherfucker. They bringing a whole bunch of other shit in, hepatitis, all kind of shit.
What's the name of that machine where they hit you with it for the shocker? Clear. Yeah. That's what they need. Somebody should have ran on the stage with the defibrillator.
Let's say that till the end of the show. We're gonna talk about the verses later on, man.
We're gonna get Dipset later. But the thing is, like you're still having these events, and like I said, they're making people feel like, yo, you're completely safe because you vaccinated or whatever, but you're still spreading it. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that I'm curious. I don't think there should be no crowded events. That's just my personal opinion, because that's the number one way you're going to get it.
No, I'm sorry. You said what? Get a crowd?
I said I don't think there should be crowded events.
Oh, okay, yeah,
because that's how you're going to spread it.
Yep. And moving right along, Cori Bush says progressives to win eviction crisis with a eviction crisis. Cori Bush out of Missouri. She said she went and slept outside the house the other night for a few nights, right, guys? I don't know how many nights in total. I can't remember how many nights total outside to express the show about homelessness in America and all of the eviction moratoriums about to lift. Was taken away, but now got reinstated for another 60 days throughout the country. And it wasn't for her and putting the pressure on Democrats like her and the CDC had to jump in today and push this to give her 60 days because Joe Biden was moving his old slow ass feet. Cracker. Sorry, I know y'all love some jokes.
There we go.
I think Biden been working though.
Let me tell you something.
Biden been working. I can't front. Biden been working harder than any other 80.
Yeah, I ain't gonna than any other. Yeah, exactly.
But yo, you gotta admit, you may not agree with what he doing, but he doing something. Like my man, he is working. I can't front.
You doing something? You know me. I'm about to do for the black and the brown.
I got you.
I'm going to go with the black and the brown. We're going to stay on
not to bury the lead. That's commendable what she did. And I'll be honest with you. I don't know when it comes to homelessness, man. Just walking through Penn Station every day and things like that. You just see it, and it's so many other things connected to homelessness. Obviously, a lot of mental illness and different circumstances and things that are really, really tough. But
well, they be on fire tonight.
And everybody out there 80 plus, make sure you at Damien, not us.
The framework was on earlier today. Oh, you 80
Shout out to the framework.
Shout out to the framework. 80 old rappers jump on Damien's ass. What's what he said right now? Y'all can still rap at 80 years old, goddamn it.
You might not sell no records, but you can rap.
That's good.
I think the Cori Bush, I think that situation is a good example of what happens when you have a backbone and some conviction. Yeah. You know what I mean? Along with a little bit of timing, obviously. Just where we are right now, I think, she just caught the right wave and she went out and she did what she had to do. And it's good to see a good win. So shout outs to her and let's see more of it. You know what I mean? Let's keep an eye on her. That's what I think.
Yeah. I think as a politician, I give her a lot of credit for that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of politicians, especially when we see certain type of politicians been there a long time and enjoying the gravy train, They're not going to inconvenience themselves or be uncomfortable, not even for a moment. So by her spending the night outside on the steps, that's somebody is showing passion, that she actually cares about certain conditions that people are dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So I commend her for doing that.
Right, bringing attention.
I never been homeless. I had to sleep in my car once, and that was enough for me. So I definitely have to.
Word.
Yeah.
Word.
So
I got an idea for you guys. I want you guys, Rodney, D, Derik, to do something to show a sign of solidarity and sleep in front of the Nourish shop on God Brew. Yes. Yeah. As a sign. Now me, I'll be absent. I got something to do that day, but I want y'all to go ahead.
and we're gonna wake up naked. That's what's gonna happen.
No. If I can bring a couple of guns, I'm good. I'll sleep in front of that joint.
Why can't you pick a different location?
Word.
Well, look, you're gonna have entertainment. You're gonna get, first of all, you're gonna get a lot of fireworks at night. Well, at least I think they're fireworks.
Right. And you're gonna get a parade of motorcycles and dirt bikes.
Yeah.
With no lights plates and no lights.
Because we gotta go where the people are, you know what I'm saying?
Man, but for real talk, for anybody that is in the New York State or New York City area, Sam, can you please get a phone number for the New York State? It's called the Emergency Rent Assistance Program. It's one of the programs under my umbrella in the 5 boroughs, and that's the local number right there, the 929 number that starts with that for people. So it's money that's given from the government, given to each state. So look at your local state, go to your local state websites to find out the information where you can go get back rent. And landlords, it's also help back for landlords too. They go up to a year back rent. You have to show proof. We ain't just gonna give out money. You got to show proof, and it helps out people. So please go there if you need help. And this money is allocated for each and every state. I know New York State, I think we got about $2 billion to give away in a year's time. I truly do think it's going to be extended past the time of June 30th of 2022. I think it's going to be passed. Hopefully, it'll be passed into the fall. So we'll see. But there it is. That's the number right there.
Some people are going to listen to this and not see it. So that's
New York State
691
Yeah, there you go.
7368. That's 929-552-2248. Again, that's 844-691-7368. And for the boroughs, that's 929-552-2248.
And tell a friend,
Tell a friend, word. Help each other. Get that free money. But Jamie's about to take us to commercial. When we come back from commercial, we're going to talk about toxic relationships, and we're going to bring it up. Jamie, take us out to a commercial, brother.
Orchard Blue Counseling Services, or known as OBS, is a private mental health practice based in Southeast Queens, New York. OBS's founder and holistic psychotherapist, Serene Prince, is a Queens native with Caribbean roots. Serene is committed to providing culturally competent holistic psychotherapy to diverse communities while curating a safe healing space for Black and Brown people with compassion and awareness of their total being. As experts in children and teens, we have curated a mental health and wellness community where children are heard, guided in developing a healthy self-esteem, supported in strengthening their inherited resilience, and learn skills to manage their emotions to develop positive relationships with parents, adults, and their peers. Orchard Blue Counseling Services is designed to help children and adults discover their inner healer as we take the journey with our clients to work towards self-acceptance, self-love, and resilience to manage life's uncertainties and embrace its wonders. Our private practice extends to providing consultant services for personal life transitions and business development, parenting guidance and support, and clinical supervision for mental health students and therapists. And be sure to book our founder, Serene Prince, as your next holistic speaker, offering your audience a life-changing experience. Now that you have taken the first step to learning about us, We invite you to walk towards a healing and progressive life with Orchard Blue Counseling Services. Contact us for your free consultation where applicable. Email or call us at info@orchardbluecounseling.com or area code 516-200-1174. You can also connect with us at our website and social media pages, orchardbluecounseling.com, or on Instagram at orchardblue_counseling SBCS, or Facebook at Orchard Blue Counseling.
All right, welcome back from our commercial break with our sister Serene commercial right there. So we're gonna talk about toxic relationships between parents and children. Before we get started on that, I want Jamie to bring up Mr. Let's Go's IG page. Warning: there's gonna be a lot of profanity in this. This is not me cursing. This is Mr. Let's Go. So anyhow, from his IG page about toxic relationships between parents and their children. Jamie, play the video, please.
Where's my father? Nowhere to be fucking found. You know why he was nowhere to be fucking found? Because I just got a relationship with him a few months ago. Because my mom told me my dad wasn't shit to keep me away from my dad. But my dad didn't know. My dad did not. I thought my dad was a bitch ass fuck nigga. Because that's what my mom called him. Mm-hmm. My mom didn't know. My mom told I'm 26, bro. I'm 26. My mom kept me away from my dad for 26 years. You know what kept me away from him? My mom told me that my dad said I was a mistake and kept me away from my fucking father. Every time, this nigga been looking for me since I was a kid. Yeah. He's been looking for me. Can you imagine all the kids out there who got a fucked up ass mom telling them their daddy ain't shit, but the daddy looking for him? I finally talked to my dad. He's a good dude. My mom told me my dad has not paid child support since I was a kid. I finally meet this nigga. He has envelopes full of fucking shit proof showing he been paying child support. He told me, he said, your mom is a lying, manipulative bitch. I have not talked to my mom in months.
Whew. Man, I feel bad for that brother's pain, man. You know, adults that harm children make bad adults later on. But anyhow, gentlemen, chime in. What your thoughts are?
There's no winners in this. There's no winners in this. And you can't get that time back. And people need to stop, fighting with their kids. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, using the kids as pawns. And that now he's a grown man. So he lost all that time with his father. And I'll just say this, it's very, very important knowing the people that you're going to, build a family with or have children if you can. But do everything you can to scrutinize, because you got some real foul people out there that'll do some things, and those things you just can't get that time back, you get the years back. And his mother, the relationship with his mother will forever be damaged. And then now building a relationship with his father, so much different. A man coming into your life when you've grown, you're 26 years old. You know what I mean? So now they've got to try to foster a relationship as two grown men versus as a boy and his father. And that's like I said, there's just no winners in it, and that's awful to hear and even worse to do.
Yeah, and I think also his mother was physically, emotionally abusive to him.
Yeah, wow, man. Yeah,
he probably looked like his dad.
You know what? I was just about to say that too, man. I was just about to think that. I'll say that, man, because I mean that's just so sad, man. And you got so many years you got to catch up. This is a fully grown man, fully functional man, and they gotta, like Kelvin said, they gotta kind of figure out a way forward. They're just so, there's just so many things that you miss, man, and you can, time is the one thing you never get back, man. It is the most precious resource there is. When you're young that way, when you're a kid growing up, you're richer than you ever know because you're just rich in time, and that relationship that you have with your parents, or those foundational, those formational relationships, they're invaluable. They carry you through the rest of your life. And who knows what kind of guy he would be, or what he missed by not having his father in his life. You know what I mean? What pain he's going through, you know, confusions or whatever, without having his father in his life all these days. But unfortunately, he's there now. They can move forward. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, and it's just crazy the way how people can just use children as a weapon, man, in relationships, man, and just really try to do harm. I just, you know, there's no, you know, just I think there's scars that just won't heal. You know, I just feel that way. So, you know, but commend his father. I commend his father for constantly paying child support, for trying to be in his life, and for being able to show, because ultimately he's going to be, the child is going to be the final judge, you know, regardless of what his mother says or father says. He's able to show proof. Listen, I tried to find you. I paid. I took care of my responsibilities, and I always wanted you. And I think that's the most important message that he could have given his son, that he was wanted, you know, and that he was cared for, even if it was from afar, you know. So I think that's the best positive thing that can come out of it. You know,
yeah, and to me, it's like it shows that this lady needed some kind of healing in her life. Something went wrong in her life that she couldn't be honest to say, like, this man is not a bad man. Yes, me and that man's relationship didn't work, but why am I going to take out our relationship didn't work on the child? Why are you not going to have to give that child that balance of having a man to grow up in his life? They have to be in the same household, but why would you do something like that and you don't know what kind of man you would have built if this young man that was, by the grace of God, didn't go the wrong way? You know what I'm saying? He didn't go on. I mean, I don't know what he did. I don't really know this brother. He could be a street dude. I don't know.
He looks good.
You know, he looks like he's, you know, like he has some kind of sense to himself. You know, these toxic relationships it's crazy. But go ahead, Rod. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm a firm believer that I don't think that parents that are not together should ever talk negatively about the other parent, because you allow the child to come to his own conclusions about his own parents. To me, it seems like there's something that mom hasn't let go, and this was a revenge type of thing with the son, but it seems like karma came back to bite her now herself. Because the thing is, when you do evil, eventually it's going to come to light, and that's basically what happened. So now her relationship with her son is damaged because she tried to damage she did damage. She damaged the relationship with him and his father. And like we said, we can't get that time back. But obviously, I always tell people, like, when you're in a relationship and one person ain't done, then guess what? There's going to be problems. And that's how I see it. Maybe she wasn't done with the relationship with the father, or maybe it didn't work out. So this was her way of saying, well, I'm gonna fix you. I'll destroy you through your son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
it's very sad. Very sad.
Yeah, it's very sad. She could have had the man in her life still in some kind of weird way. If she would have let him see his son, she would have been able to see the man all the time on visits, let him drop more. But you know, I don't know. It's just crazy.
The thing is too, like, you know, sometimes
hurt people. She was bad.
Hurt people.
Bad. Word up.
But you know, sometimes in relationships, just because you break up doesn't mean you can. I've seen people get back together or whatever. Sometimes people grow and they change or they mature, you know. But to basically do what she did, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
The worst thing you can do is pass your issues on to your children.
Correct. You're not supposed to
want to see
that.
them get better. You should want to see them do better than you and things like that. And I mean, so you were trying to keep him from his father. Now you wind up losing him anyway.
Correct.
But unfortunately, you know, the issues also are informed by your own experiences. What was her experiences growing up? You know, what was her relationship like with her father, her parents? You know what I mean?
Or her mother too. Her mother could have did the same thing. You know.
Probably just
toxic. But the thing was, we got tonight. We're very lucky. We also have a therapist coming on tonight. Our sister, she's been on it before. She's my sister from a different mister. Sammy Jammy, can you bring in Serene Prince, brother?
Hey, Serene.
Hi, good night, everyone. How are you?
We're good. How you doing?
Good.
How you doing?
Serene, thanks for giving us the time.
Yeah, thank you for having me again.
Yeah. So we just saw your commercial, so everybody know your credentials. So we don't bring in no sloppy people. We bring on the experts on Let's Chop It Up. So Serene, after seeing this video, what are some of your takebacks from this? What do you think?
It was very painful to watch. You can feel the hurt, the disappointment in this gentleman's voice and his face. I believe his initial reaction is understood, and I value that. But the other side to that is remaining angry. It doesn't serve him any purpose at all, and my hope is at some point that he will be able to move on from his mom and let go of some of that anger, because he too, I imagine, maybe wants to become a parent and doesn't want to continue that cycle of toxicity within his own relationship with his own child or whomever that he decides to develop a relationship with. Because then it just, I mean, he went from being angry to his dad to now being angry to his mom. And so when you're angry, it festers, it manifests in different ways, and it eats you up, and it's unhealthy. I'm not disregarding what the mom did. It was horrible. And it's been seen a lot in many, single parent households, so to speak. But at the same time, anger doesn't do him any justice. It only makes his life worse. It will eat you up.
Yeah.
So basically, healing is like the answer, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, he has to go through the emotions and all of that, because now, although his father's shown him all of this, he has to retrain his brain to now start to trust this man. And the trust doesn't happen automatically.
Right.
You've been taught for so long to disregard him, devalue him, that he abandoned him, basically, that he abandoned him. And then, as Dee Dee mentioned, that the mom also, according to him, the mom was physically and emotionally abusive, and that was to oppress him. And so he believed that that's all he deserved. And so I'm sure, usually, just instinctively, something is not right. You start to question things, and usually a parent such as that will see that and then try to, bring it down and remind you of the lies, so to speak. And so now he has to start to trust this man, and that's hard. It doesn't come easy.
So Serene, I'm assuming that now you have to establish roles, because someone doesn't become your dad just because they're your father. And so,
Exactly.
he's meeting this man as a grown man. One of the things that parents love to do, at least my father would do, so like that, listen, I am your father, and have respect or whatever. There's always the tie goes to the parent. Like, in other words, you always give your parents certain respect regardless, because they are your parent. In a situation like this, these are two grown men. And I mean, I think the main thing probably for the father is to realize, I can't act like we can go back and play ball in the park. I can't act like I'm an authority figure at this moment. All we got to do is try to figure out where we go, obviously, from here, because you can't cover all that ground. You can't. There's too many birthdays missed. There's too many, sports events in school activities and stuff. All that stuff is gone. He unfortunately was robbed of all that. So now I guess you got to kind of figure out what role this person can play in my life, and you got to make a decision to let him remain in your life.
Yeah. It takes a lot of work and a lot of healing for that young man as well, on both sides of the coin. There are many, when you think about other children, and not to move away from him, but there are younger children that are in households with toxic parents who are doing this. If you think of his younger self, like when he was 5 years old, and he was relying on this person to provide him emotional support, and he wasn't getting it. That's horrible, right? And you have other children that are in homes where they're probably giving to their parent emotionally more than the parent is giving to them. And then you also have other situations where there are boundaries being crossed, right? Where their parent is injecting themselves in their friendships and telling them the type of friends that they should have, or doubting the loyalty of their friend, being in places and in certain situations with their friends where their parents shouldn't be. That's part of enmeshment. You also have where, the child feels like they can't say certain things. They have to like walk on eggshells, even as an adult, right? So you have an adult child where they're with their parent and they don't want to set them off, because then it's going to start to cause a whole big thing, especially if you're in when you're talking about adult, when you're in like a family function and you know that you and that parent, you and your mom or your dad oftentimes have conflict, you walk on eggshells. You can't be yourself. It's a constant cycle. Even as you get older, and a toxic relationship with your parent is never ending. And then you have the flip side to that, right? Then you have the child who's toxic, right? Who's never satisfied with the love and the support that the parent is giving. And the parent is constantly challenged by, how do I prove myself to this child that I love them? And that could be led by the child may have substance use, untreated mental health conditions. The child, or who's now an adult, may have experienced their own trauma, sexual abuse, not by the parent, by someone else, and they're projecting all of these emotions onto their parent. And so it can go both ways, you know.
So, Serene, let me just ask. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, D.
No, I was going to ask, who would you first have to come in your office in that situation? Would it be the mother? Would it be the son? Or would it be the father? Or would it? What would you start first in that scenario? In those people?
Are you referencing to possibly a family?
Yeah, family therapy session.
Well, that would not start with you know, if he came to me and he says, you know, this is a situation, I need to work through this, I would not meet with anyone, because at the end of the day, it's about him, right? And it's about him healing, and it's about him deciding how the person that he wants to be. Because you don't have control over other people and their healing process. You only have control over you. And you can't decide how she's going to behave, his mom, that is. You can't get her to apologize, because she may not apologize to him. You have to focus on your own healing. And part of that does involve having, and I want to say this carefully, having an understanding of the parent situation. Not that you agree with what they did, but that you understand. And what I mean by that is that you don't take on their behavior. You place it with them. It's their shit, excuse my language. And you move away from that. But if you stay in anger, you're going to start questioning yourself about, well, what did I do wrong? Or maybe I should have did this, or they didn't do that. You'll be ruminating over and over. I'm sure you've probably seen, you probably have friends where they tend to ruminate over something that their parent did over and over and over again. It's like this loop. It never ends. You never move forward. And so when he's coming into therapy, the focus is about his healing and how he wants to move forward, and then discuss possibly family session.
Kelvin, you got a question?
Yeah, Serene. So let me ask you, and I want you to, if you can, just guess with this, because I know you don't have this answer directly, but if you had to guess, for a mother to do this, is she trying to ruin this boy in regards to men, or just this man in particular, or to make this young man love her more by making him hate the father? What if you had to just explore her mind, and maybe you've seen someone in a position similar? What is that person's motive?
If I had to, is that she, as someone mentioned, that she projected her hatred of the father on him. And that she viewed him as the source as to why the father didn't want her anymore.
Okay.
Right? Because they were probably, whatever the situation was, whatever, dreams or whatever they have, once this child entered into the world, something seemed to have shifted.
Yeah.
And so he's a reminder of disrupting this romance that she thought she had, or that she did have with him.
Okay.
I just want to ask a quick question too, Serene. Do you think, due to the fact that the mother pushed this all on him, and now he found out that his father is not the person that she projected, do you think now he will make sure he forces some sort of positive relationship with his father just to basically get back at his mother?
Yes, that could definitely happen. That he wants to get payback. He wants revenge. Isolate her.
Yeah.
You know, social media. You know, start posting pictures of him and the
His
dad
dad,
doing
yeah,
things.
yeah.
And you know, I don't know if they live together, whatever the situation may be. Bringing things home that the dad bought him, and those sort of things, and start to not similar, but start to form relationships within the father's household. Maybe he's married and those sort of things. Yeah.
Yeah. So
no
Serene,
winners here, Serene. No winners here.
yeah, so
Not
Serene,
win at all.
we want to thank you for coming on to this segment. We truly appreciate you. You know, we're going to have you on more and more. How can people find you and your services and all that stuff like that you give? Real quick.
All right. So orchardbluecounseling.com. You can find me there. You can find me at Orchard Blue Counseling on Facebook. Just so you know, I'm also a marriage officiant. So if anyone wants to elope, vow renewal, civil union, I'm your woman.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know you had that too. Okay.
Yeah.
Surprises out there in these streets, man. Listen, Serene, I love you, man. You know how much we go way back. You see, she calls me Dee Dee. So if anybody knows Sean that's on the chat, they all call me Dee Dee. That's love on here. So that's how far back. You might call me Dee Dee. It is a family affair with me, man. So
Thank you for having me. Wish I had more time, and I appreciate your support.
Oh, we're gonna bring you back.
Thank you
There's always some
very
toxic
much.
shit. There's always toxic shit going on. You're gonna come back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Serene. Thank you.
Thank you, sister.
Serene, have a good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Fantastic.
Man.
Yeah, man, that's amazing.
Baby.
You know what I'm really struck by, man? I always had a father in my life, man. My father was always in my life, you know. And I'm just really struck by, because I think, as men, I think at some point we grow up, as we're growing up, we wonder, you know, what kind of men we'll grow up to become. You know what I mean? You probably ask that question of yourself. And I think your father is probably the first clue that you have. You know, you want to measure up against your father, you want to measure up against your friends, but you know, you really want to measure up against your father. You know what I mean? And he's the first person, the first adult, or that father figure, you know, who helps you kind of triangulate, you know, the direction that you want your life to go in. So to not have that, and it seems like he never had a father figure in his life either, just because of just listening to some of the some of the words he had, you know, he said. So just
not hate to cut in, but not just to have it, but to be robbed of it.
Yeah, to be robbed of it. Exactly. Yeah. That's got to be specifically and particularly painful, you know. So so I just can't even imagine what that's like. So, you know, shout out to the young brother. I hope he finds his way.
Well, I'll say this, Derek. What I've always said is this: not everybody should have children.
That's
There
true.
are some people who should not be parents.
That's right.
They do not need to govern.
A lot of people don't want to accept that or admit that. You're right.
Exactly. You should not
be fathers, and some people should not be mothers.
Right. Some people are not qualified. And I know people say parenting is something you just learn on the way. It's true. But certain people, if you don't want children, or if you don't love children, I hope that you do not have children, because you shouldn't govern children's lives, because you're just not equipped to do it. Or you may be too selfish to do it.
So, Kelvin, you saying pull out. Anyhow.
Run the scroll.
Go ahead, Jamie. Jamie got on speed dial.
And what Derek said, speaking of the loss, popular exotic dancer Mutu Cadbury passes away from recently. I think he got murdered in Africa, South Africa, somewhere like that. And it's Sammy Jam. His funeral was up there. Can you please play his video?
Oh Lord, child, have mercy.
Let me just say this, and I want to just be clear to say this.
Please.
I'd like to say to Dr. King and to Malcolm X, at least you tried. That's all I want to say. At least you tried, because we will never, never ever.
I got a different opinion. and it's not from experience. I'm just guessing from an observation.
Okay.
Those chairs they're using, I don't think those chairs are strong enough to withstand those lap dances. And I'm not saying that from experience. I'm just saying it from an observation.
So nothing a long time ago happened.
So
no,
you saying that the people that made the chairs did not
I'm saying that those chairs are not designed to hold the weight of two people. That's what I'm trying to say. So just just to help people out there, if you had a barbecue and they have those chairs, do not get a lap dance in those chairs because the chances are high that it will collapse. Okay, I'm just letting you know that. Okay, strictly observation.
I enjoyed the funeral. I want my funeral to be like that. I tell you right now, I don't want no gospel music at my funeral at all.
You want a party, man?
I want hip hop and R&B instrumentals, no Dipset. Hip hop and R&B instrumentals, and I don't mind having some strippers because the way for me, you came out the vagina. I want my party to.
So D, let me just, I gotta ask D, why the instrumentals? You don't want the words, like you don't want you don't want profanity or something.
You got the words because I want my joint to be fun, just like that. I don't want that gospel way down in the river. I don't go to church. I don't want that kind of I want my shit to be fun. I want motherfuckers cracking jokes on me, all kind of shit. Where to have beer, take me to the. I want weekend at Bernie type shit for me.
I hear that.
So basically, we have to have your funeral. We have to have your funeral in the park. We can't have it like in a church. We can't have it at a funeral home.
Just like
We're gonna have it right in the park.
You cremate me, roll me up in a blunt and smoke me like they did Tupac. That's the kind of shit I want for my funeral. I don't want none of that crying, wearing black shit at my shit there. I'm telling you that. Don't wear that shit in my shit. You wear black, you gotta be sequenced. Oh man. No Amazing Grace. Hell no. Don't sing that racist ass song. If you listen to Lyric Mary Grace, I'm going something else about that Amazing Grace, a whole nother topic. Don't never sing that at my joint. No Amazing Grace. That racist bastard that made that song. Anyhow. Michael Che, whatever, clears his Instagram account after jokes about Simone Biles. Gentlemen, you might want to say thoughts. Everybody's cancel culture is getting everybody.
Well, look, he said that he was hacked. Okay,
yeah,
does anybody believe he was hacked?
No.
The thing is, did he make a joke or did somebody make a joke and he rated it?
I thought he rated it, so I'm confused. Go ahead.
No, he said, one tweet said that he was I got some jokes about Simone Biles. I'm gonna try him out tonight at whichever club he's supposed to be performing at or whatever. So then he later comes back and says, everybody that knows me knows I joke about white people and I joke about something else. He was like, but I didn't joke about Simone Biles. I was hacked. I changed my information and all that stuff like that. To me, if he did do it, then you need to own it. To me, I'll say this. To me, I look at comedy different than a lot of people. I think jokes are just what they are. They're jokes. And I believe that you can take jokes about serious subjects. And I don't think if a person jokes, I don't think they're trying to be disrespectful to mental health issues. I think they're comedians. They're joking. So if that's the case, then I have no problem with it. You know what I mean? I joke about everything except the truth. If something is true or something is real, I don't want to joke about that because I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. But I like to just joke about it to make light of certain situations, just make something funny or whatever. And so if he did that, obviously now in this culture, in this climate, when it comes to an issue like that, it comes to mental health issue, it's going to cost him a lot. A lot of people were really turned off by what he allegedly said. And the reason I keep saying allegedly, because he's saying he didn't say it. You know what I mean? So if he did say it, I wouldn't have done it. It's too early to do that. Simone Biles is in the midst of this, and it looks like she may have had a breakdown to some extent. If that's the case, that's not really the time to make light of something like that. You know what I mean? But I do think that comedians usually take the time. Comedians are gonna make jokes about COVID soon. That's what they do. They're gonna take the darkest things and they're gonna try to make light of them. You know what I mean? I do agree with Kira that the timing, you have to be sensitive to that. You see what I'm saying? That's why I think what D should do is have a traditional funeral, then have all of his friends go to the club and do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just,
I get it. For my old aunts and them, hopefully they be gone past then, so they won't worry about my wild ass funeral when I have, man. But my shit, I want my shit to be off the hook.
The question is, are you going to see it? You're not going to see it. You're not.
I don't care. I want y'all to enjoy it. Y'all enjoy it the way I want. I'll make it rain. Don't throw no flowers. Throw them ones.
Yeah. We're gonna come to America.
D, we should not have a white historian do the eulogy also, right?
Oh, bro, you know better than that. You know better than that. Don't have no white preacher, none of that stuff. Heard up. Anyhow, moving right along. Speaking of money and making it rain, have you ever gone to the bank and get cash out? This brother named Tony the Closer. Jim, you have this video. He couldn't get the money because you got too much goddamn money. Jim, you play the video real quick.
You guys play this game with me. See, it's ridiculous that I can have that type of capital in the dang old bank and not get the respect where I can come and pull my own money out. That's my hard-earned money. But it's every time I go into a financial industry, bank. I did this in Vegas. I've done this in several places. You guys don't give me my money. Correct. Like, it doesn't matter if it's 10,000, 20,000. You guys always have an excuse not to give me my money.
Okay, sir. I'm giving you the options that we have available to you. Not any one small institution is going to have.
This isn't Bank of America. Isn't a small institution. This isn't a credit union.
Each
branch. What are you talking about?
Okay, you're escalating this, and there's no.
I am escalating because I can't get my money.
Correct. You can in the form of a cashier's check. We absolutely provide.
What type of sense does that make for me to get a cashier's check when I go to the bank? I don't need a check.
So you're not walking around with $100,000 in cash.
Why wouldn't I want to walk around with my own money in cash?
If that's what you want to do, we can certainly order that cash for you, sir. And it'll be here by Tuesday for pickup.
I need to be able to get in contact with whoever you actually report to in the chain of command, because I want to get my money withdrawn right now. I want to close my account, and I want to get out of this Bank of America right now. I'm going to close it right now.
We're going to issue that in the form of.
That's fine. I guarantee my other bank won't give me this. Now I want to close it right now. Take me to close my account out.
Okay, Marion, can you sign on here and we'll get the account closed?
$1 million accounts, and they tell me I can't have my own money. Yeah, right. I'll close it. I'll close it today, right now.
I don't have that kind of money. I only get singles to go to the strip club. So I have no money to get that kind of money out. Rodney, go ahead, brother.
I want to talk about this because I had a similar incident in the same bank.
That means Rodney got a lot of money, y'all. He got a whole lot of money.
No.
When I say he got his own money, I mean he got his own money.
The thing is, it's not for the bank to determine whether you take how you want your cash. It's how you determine what you want your cash. And then they're going to say, now, I want to add that Tony the Closer was in there trying to get, I think, $100K in cash out of the bank. Now, for all we know, Tony the Closer might have been getting ready to do a cash deal because he's into real estate. He could have been doing a cash deal with some sort of real estate deal or whatever, and he needed the cash to get it cheaper. So the thing is, the bank is using your money while your money is there. He has a few, I guess, just assuming that he has a couple of million in there, and they're making money from his money. So when he wants to get it, they want to be in the way of getting it because he wants to take out a substantial amount of money. That's what vaults are for. They got that money in there. They're full of shit. They have that money in there. Give that man his money, and it's not his opinion to basically say, well, I don't think you should be walking around with $100,000 cash. That's not your business. That's his business. Once he gets that money, he can go do whatever he wants with it. That is his money. The banks are holding people's money because they're using it to make money for themselves.
Right. Absolutely. If he want to take $100,000 and show up at the strip club and throw it in the air, that's
his prerogative. That's his prerogative. Yeah. For you to tell him that he needs a check, no, you don't tell me I need a check. The thing is, if I walked in here with $1 million cash, you wouldn't tell me to come back and bring it back as a check. No, you're going to say, we'll be more than happy to help you, sir. We'll count it for you. You know what I'm saying? So, I noticed that the banks are starting to go in this direction because, like I said, a similar. And by the way, Tony the Closer got his money, so he got. Once they saw he was going to close that account, managers they're not in a position to let money like that walk out of the bank and go somewhere else. There's too many other banks, especially with money like he has. So they wound up giving him the money.
Wow.
Well, I don't like banks, and I had a situation where I went and I think you remember back in the day, probably like before 2008, the collapse, a lot of people was dealing with big numbers. and I went to get a cashier's check from, I think it was Norfolk Bank. And the guy was like, take this to your, he gives me a certified check. He says, take this to your branch and cash it. And it was drawn from Norfolk. I go to, at the time, Washington Mutual. Remember that all these banks were coming out of nowhere? Washington Mutual. I get to Washington Mutual. I go to cash this certified check. And naturally, the teller is like, I got to go talk to somebody. She goes over and speaks to the branch manager. And the branch manager is like, you're going to have to deposit it. And I'm like, well, how long? It's a certified check. How long is it going to take to clear? The lady says it's going to take 10 days to clear.
Right.
I said, miss, a personal check going to take 10 days to clear. This is a certified check.
Correct.
So she's like, no, we can't do it. I called the branch manager from Norfolk, who gave me the check, and put him on the phone with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear them arguing back and forth. And she's like, I'm sorry, that's not our policy. She gives me the phone back with him on it, and he's like, what they're doing to you is racist. That's what he told me. He's like, what they're doing to you is racist. So the next day, I call Washington Mutual's headquarters in Buffalo. Black lady picks up the phone. And I'm like, miss, how long does it take to cash a certified check? She said it could take 3 days. It could take 5 days or 10 days. I said, well, how do you determine that? She said it's at the bank manager's discretion.
Yeah.
So I said, what is the discretion based on? The discretion, if I come in there in a Brooks Brothers suit and I'm white, does that mean 3 days? Or if I come in there wearing a baseball cap, does that mean 10 days? And that's why they put that word discretion in there. So now somebody is actually making a determination on if they think you're telling the truth or not. And that's why I don't have much regard for making it true.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I've never had those kind of problems with the bank. I had a couple friends of mine who have had similar instances, to the point that they escalated where the police were involved. You know what I mean? One person that I know, a friend of mine, is actually wound up on the news. But they both were completely in the right. They didn't escalate the problem, in argumentative fashion. But that's to say that the bank went so far as to question, whether or not the money was there, so all sorts of things. You know what I mean? And then the bank actually called the police on them. You know what I mean? So it's racism in every institution is definitely in banking, Damien. So it is what it is, man. The racism in banking, racism in finances. So.
Yeah. And speaking of racism, the family of Henrietta Lacks hired star civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, who says they plan to sue pharmaceutical companies for all the money they made off of this sister's cells. This sister's cells regenerated. We all know. People don't know the story of Henrietta Lacks. Her blood cured a lot of things from polio to different all kind of diseases that this lady's blood is used. And the Black family has not received. Her family, which she still have a living son and grandson, has not received one dime, and they have made billions of dollars off of this lady blood cells. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Took too long. Definitely took too long. The thing is, somebody should have been on this much sooner than I commend.
They tried, but they never got denied. Yeah, they tried.
Yeah, but I think that's terrible because I do know the story, and as a result of her blood cells, they were able to make a lot of cures for a lot of diseases. And you're right, she wasn't, or family wasn't. Nobody was compensated for it at all.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Money off of that too. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, they're hiding behind a few things. John Hopkins, they're trying to say, number one, that it was never patented, so they never made any money off of it. That's the first thing. Then also, they say that there was no established practice for establishing or obtaining consent. So there are a couple things that are going on, that are holding it up. And then they would say also at the time that there was no regulation regarding the use of the treatment. So how that it's gonna boil down to the what do you call it, the better sense or better common sense of whoever takes over the case, and I'm not optimistic, but I think that they did the right thing by getting Brother Crump involved because he's very high profile. And if anybody's fit for that, I think he's probably a good mix, a good fit.
You're absolutely right. He brings highlights on it, and Trump does get the money for a lot of people. The thing is, it's funny when they come to us about likeness and stuff. John F. Kennedy fan, he died, and his family controlled the likeness of him. Think about all the likenesses, all the things that white folks have, they family to control and make money over the years of it. But when it comes to us, this is almost like reparations for this one family. and they made billions. And I'm quite sure the family probably don't want to say they'll settle out of court for a couple $100 million maybe. But damn it, can we ever get what's right owed to all the sweat and labor that we have done in this country?
No, because there's no recourse, and that's the issue. And I keep saying that before. The reality of it is this, and to quote your good friend D. Claude Anderson, they don't disrespect you because you're black. They disrespect you because they know that there's no culpability.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line.
They see you as powerless. That's why.
That's it.
You don't walk all over us. History shows that they can walk all over us.
There you go. No political capital. No financial capital,
no economic, exactly.
There you go. And if you're not unified,
correct. The unification, politics, and money. If you got those 2-3 things going on, guess what? Your voice is going to get heard. Yeah. You can march all you want. You ain't getting shit.
Yeah. Hopefully this time with having Benjamin Crump and Crump rub arms with Sister Oprah Winfrey that made the movie a few years ago about the Sister Henrietta Lacks, and you could get those people on board. Maybe some other politicians or whatever to get on board to get this family they just do on this money. She has a surviving son and she has a surviving grandson.
And I want to point out something as well, D. I agree with you with regard to the likeness and getting it addressed too. I just want to make the distinction that in this case, it was about, and I think we all understand that it was about her cells that were taken. Yeah, so it wasn't necessarily a likeness, but
but you know what I'm saying, the comparison. I'm not saying
they took her actual cells and without her consent.
They made exactly, and this sister wound up dying of cancer. So it's another. But anyhow, Benjamin Crump also is still in the news. Benjamin Crump filed a lawsuit against Johnson & Johnson for Black women advocacy group. So Johnson & Johnson with the talcum powder thing. People don't know the story. They was still when they was discovering white women were getting cancer. From the women getting cancer from the talcum powder, but they knew black women. We know how black women, we always put powder. And they kept giving advertising in Jet Magazine, Ebony Magazine, the magazines in black neighborhoods to still use this talcum powder, knowing that this talcum powder was causing cancer. And when white people get a cold, we get the flu. So that's what happens. A lot of sisters started dying from using this talcum powder. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Yeah, we always go first, don't we? It's like everything. It's like we're like the guinea pigs or something, man. They always put us out front, find out what's happening with us, and then go from there. And I think the biggest guinea pig or the worst victim of the medical industry is the black woman. And it's just a shame. And Johnson Johnson's got to be number one up there with regard to those kind of situations, man. It got to be. So it's just sad. This is really sad. I don't know what it's going to take for something really to happen, where people have to learn that, what the industry and the powers that be need to learn that they need to respect people, need to respect black women, and and see the damage that was done, and just choose another course, man, and get something together. So I don't know what it's going to take.
Rodney, you look at your face, Rodney. You have something to say?
No, it's just my opinion about Johnson & Johnson. We had to talk about it with the vaccine. The bottom line is I don't even understand how Johnson & Johnson is being trusted by anybody to take anything. I think they got a suntan lotion they just had to recall or something like that.
Yeah.
Yo, they out there trying to hurt people for real. They trying to hurt people for real. I would never take a Johnson & Johnson product at all.
So you won't buy jet tickets?
Huh? I don't go to jet games. No, I don't.
I know. I'm just talking to somebody else in this thread. Sorry.
Oh.
I think D is so foul. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got left, brother. That's all. But no, I listen, that's probably why we curse. That's probably why the Jets are cursed. Leon Hurst, the Johnson & Johnson, bunch of losers. But no, I think it's terrible. And I'm here by the grace of God myself. When I was a kid, I know that's what my mother and father used, changing diapers.
That's right.
I can't believe I'm still alive myself. But it's just foul. And I just think at a certain point, we got to get to a point where we're like, all right, we've had enough of it. We've had enough. And that's my friend right there, Kara. Kara, what's up,
Kara? What's up, Kara? Thank you for coming. Let's chop it up with us.
Yeah, man. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, I do think people need to pay out. Now, people are not going to pay out. They're not going to give anything they don't have to give. So you got to hold people's feet to the fire. You've got to do that. If we use a fraction of our buying power and shut stuff down, I mean, people will come and acquiesce. They just will. And we've got to make sure we hold them to that. But see, the problem is this. We're very, very reactionary for the moment. We are prisoners of the moment. Something happens, we loot, we ride for 3 days, and then it's over. You've got to make sure that you keep the focus and keep the pressure on. You know.
Thank you, Karen.
What's up? Hey,
the thing is, I'm going to agree.
Oh man! Wow, you call Johnson back to
that's classic shit.
Yeah, you made me forget what I was going to say.
Sorry, because you took that goddamn Johnson & Johnson.
No, I do. I think I do know what I was going to say. The thing is, it's piggyback off what Kelvin said. Kelvin, you're 100% right. We've had this conversation numerous times. That we have tremendous buying power, and the thing is, if we get together and unify and stop spending our money in certain places, we will bring corporations to their knees, like the baby. See how the baby's down on his knees now, begging? I know. I'm not going to go that deep, but I'm just using him as an example. The thing is, what happens when you affect somebody's bottom line,
there you go.
Then they will respond to you, and that's what we have to do.
Yeah. So moving right along, we're gonna get on some sports because that's what's hot right now. The Olympics coverage. For me, the Olympic coverage has been trash. NBC is doing a piss poor job of the Olympic coverage. We can't find a goddamn basketball game. We can't find boxing, the traditional stuff that kept us involved in the Olympics. Only thing we got is some goddamn water polo and some swimming. Swimming, yes, I know it's dope. All those other people love swimming, but goddamn it, can we get some regular? I don't want to see no more badminton. I don't want to see wrestling. I don't want to see none of that shit that nobody cares about anymore. It's the worst Olympics. And I talked to a producer at another network. I'm not gonna mention, and we both were saying, this has been the worst Olympic coverage ever.
Well, to tell you the truth, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you, D. The thing is, there's some new events in Olympics now where I'm like, what the hell is that doing as an event? So the thing is, I'm going to advocate for the next Olympics to add CeeLo to the Olympics. Because since they are taking damn near everything in competition, I want to get an Olympic CeeLo game going. That's what I want to do from different countries.
Biz, whiz, and tunk.
There you go.
Yeah, biz, whiz, tunk, and spades.
Word up.
Yeah.
Dominoes. Boy, I'm telling you.
Yo, let me tell you something. The day we lose spades, it's over. If we lose spades,
we lost red velvet cake. We lost
and we almost lost potato salad with the race.
Could you imagine like the Australians beat somebody black in some spades or something like that? It's gonna be a problem.
A white dude won in track.
White
dude won in track. Come on, son.
I agree with.
200 meters or sprint?
I agree with Brad.
I agree with Brad on that. But also, this is my thing too. We know it's in Japan. It's 12 hours ahead. Brothers, a lot of people stay up to 12. People working at home. A lot of people stay up to about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning because everybody working. A lot of people still working from home. Show the goddamn basketball game, bro. I get the alert before the damn game come on. I don't need the repeat. I already know who won. Show the goddamn game live. Don't make people stream. Stop trying to make money off of everything. You can make on the advertising dollars if you just have us watch it on regular NBC channel. And then one more thing before I'm going to say with the Olympics. The Olympics is the one of the most racist institutions ever. How are you going to have the Olympics and never go to the continent of Africa? Not one time. You have the World Cup. Well, that shit could go over to Africa. South Africa.
They have to be able to host it.
You got if you hold the World Cup, you can hold the Olympics. Think about that.
No, I agree. Will they be able to get the money and build all this stuff to host it?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I like about the Olympics always leave the country fucked up. They come there. I've been to Greece where they leave all these other rooms and sports arenas where they have to start now. You got the homeless people. What they did to Atlanta. The Olympics is a piece of trash. But however, I just want to see them even let African country, get in the bid. You gotta tell me Nigeria don't have money?
Oh, Nigeria got that money.
Ghana.
I think we also got to look at. We have to look at it. This is not 1984. This is not when we were kids. I don't know that this era cares about the Olympics like
nobody cares about the Olympics. We don't, and that's true.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't. We care about local sports more. And
I bet you the video game tournaments are probably killing right now.
Yeah,
people playing video game all over the world, like against each other.
Yeah.
You go to college for that now.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
Yeah.
You go to college for video games.
They have dudes on YouTube that get paid to play video games, and people watch them play.
There are guys that win tournaments for hundreds of thousands of dollars in video
No question.
games.
That's true, 'cause my kids can watch a YouTube video of somebody playing a video game. I'm about to trip me out. I'm like, wouldn't you rather play the video game? Why would you? Why wouldn't you play it yourself? We want to watch somebody else play a game. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. So Simone. Speaking of Olympics, Simone Biles wins the bronze. You know, she was good battling on mental health issues. Any thoughts, gentlemen?
I would have rather have seen her sit the whole thing out. But of course, it's not my decision because she got like 4 gold medals. I know she don't want this bronze, but I would rather have seen her sit the whole thing out. But you know, the fact that she's a trooper and she came through, to me, I just think the natural progression of life have maybe taken it that they've spent their whole lives working to get to this point. Some of them just probably tired of it. Some of them are probably just like, I've just had enough of it. I'm grown now. I'm in a relationship now. I don't want to spend 20 hours a day training and stuff. And maybe that's just it. Maybe all the pressure and stuff like that is too much,
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's like, people don't really understand. Like, we look at these people, especially athletes, man, we look at them and say, man, these people are we think of them just being physically gifted. But we we always underestimate the mental part, how mentally gifted they are, how strong-willed they are. You know what I mean? Like, it takes something, a focus, to be able to do what you do. And I think, I don't know what brought it on, but what she was diagnosed with, or from what I understand, what she had was something called twisties. All right? And I don't know if you understand, if you've ever heard of this. This is my first time hearing about twisties. Yeah, so it's just like, where you can kind of get uncoordinated. You don't know which way.
And you break your neck.
Yeah, you kill yourself. You kill yourself because can you imagine spinning up in the air, all those spins, and then you can't remember. You lose track of where up and down is. You know what I mean? Like, that is an amazing gift to be able to do all of that and still know which way is up. Like, literally. You know what I mean? So when you lose that, you can kill yourself. You know what I mean? And that's what she was really dealing with. Now, if that was brought on by some sort of stress or something else, vertigo. All right, yeah, it's a little bit like vertigo, I assume, but on a level that I will never understand, because I think you have to be talented to a certain point just to even even get to the point where you can experience something like that. You know what I mean? To understand what that's about. So I mean, and she's weak. I want to be that kind of weak, man. You know what I mean? Because everything that she's accomplished and as talented as she is, man, I think we gotta, and all the stuff that's going on, that she's going through, all the pressure she's under, man, we gotta give her a pass and support her, man.
Well, let me ask you a question about this twisties. Is there a way that we can, like, the dudes that like the fireworks and stuff, can they?
I don't know. Yeah, twisties is all good when she was up there celebrating during the speak. And yeah, Gabby Douglas was past her prime. Gabby was Simone before Simone's Circle of Life.
Yeah. I mean, let's move on, guys, because I want to run out of time. I don't want to stay on this topic too long. Yeah. Welcome to the Gay Olympics, an alternative to the Olympics where activism is encouraged and everyone and athletes. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think. Oh man, Rodney's out. I don't like Rodney. Hey man, let me tell you. Shout out to the Gay Olympics, man. If they're happy, I'm happy for them. Go out there and have your own Olympic Games. It's good for them to support their causes, and they can go out and say what they want to say and everything. I just hope that they take some of the transgender athletes with them. You know what I mean?
Well, this is where I'm at. I think sports should be the ultimate meritocracy. Yeah. I don't think it should be determined by your sexuality. In other words, everybody just don't make it about your sexuality. I don't think it needs to be the heterosexual Olympics. I don't think it needs to be the gay Olympics. Don't need to be the Black Olympics or the white Olympics or sports. Just let everybody play sports within the confines of the rules. That's my point. You know what I mean? See, I think this thing about, wanting to be fully accepted, now you want to be exclusive. So if you're, I shouldn't say the whole, but the majority of the WNBA, I believe, are lesbians, right? Is that kind of the idea?
Allegedly.
Right. So, and I'm just basing that on all the married female couples within the sport themselves. And I'm thinking, like, okay, but if you can play ball, then play ball against somebody that's whatever. You're just another woman, you're a woman. What y'all do behind closed doors, that's your business. But I'm saying at the end of the day, I don't know that we need all this separation. The best thing is to say, hey, let's play sports. and the best person wins. Now, as far as that transgender stuff, I don't think you should be able to go over and change your gender to have an advantage against somebody. I'm saying if you're a woman or you're a man, then to me, that's what it should be. You play against the best of the best, and whoever wins, tip your hat.
Yeah. Yo, people be texting me on the side of some funny jokes, man. I can't repeat this shit on the show. Anyhow, but yeah, let's move along for the sake of time. Former President Obama becomes a minority owner, a strategic partner for the NBA Africa.
Nice.
Well, that's a WNBA ball there, but you know, if you could have a red, black, and green ball, would have been African ball, but no. No. But yeah, so what's your thoughts, gentlemen?
It's what I said years ago. He's going to be. I think he's going to make more money outside of that office than any other president in history because of his youth, his age. And the man got out of office, I think, at 55. Yeah. The young man has a lot to do. Brilliant guy, and I think he's just scratching the surface of what he's going to do. And I like it. I like the idea. I think he's bringing back to his continent. And when I say his continent, not saying he was born there because he wasn't, but I'm saying as far as his heritage is concerned, I think that's nice to see he be a kind of a bridge between these two cultures here in America and taking something back to the continent of Africa. I think it's like a native son returning home.
And he looked fairly popular too, you know, with regard to, you know, the demographic, and, you know, going to Africa. He's fairly popular in Africa. He always was pretty popular there. So I think they chose a perfect, you know, ambassador, you know, and they're lucky to get him. And you know, and I'm just interested to see what he does with it on a social level, because I think he wants to do I think he has some goals with them regarding leadership and all of that he wants to explore with the population. So we'll see what happens, you know. But yeah, I think it's a great move for the NBA and great for him, and an all-white party in Kenya to be there. Hey, you know, that was the thing.
Well, his father's from Kenya.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah, his father's from Kenya. He's got roots.
I agree with Kelvin. He was very young when he finished office. I think Obama's turning 60, if I'm not mistaken.
He was supposed to have a party.
He's supposed to have a party.
He had to shut that down a little bit.
He had to downsize it.
Yeah. Since we're on entertainment, the baby dropped from Lollapalooza lineup as a controversial remark that we talked about last week. He's starting to lose a lot of money, man. A lot of money. Yeah. And Rodney, when we talk about money, I like to go to my man Rodney.
Well, when you want to get to somebody's soul, you hit them in the pockets. Now, supposedly, I just read today somewhere that I think the people of HIV and AIDS, they're going to have a sit down with him and educate him about AIDS and HIV.
Okay.
So the thing is, he's going to have to sit down with them, and they're going to have to educate him just like a little baby. You know, the baby. Yeah. So the thing is this.
He got to take baby steps to get back.
Yeah, you got to take baby steps to get back. The thing is, they're going to work him. They're going to work him over if they let him back in. But it goes to show you that no matter how tough you are, how street you are, how gangster, how you really about that life, when you mess with the LGBTQ community, they're going to show you who's really about that life.
Well, somebody get the background. Go ahead. Kira want to know the background. The baby.
Yeah, Kira. Basically, he said something
loud. He said some derogatory things towards gay people, AIDS people, and love Rolling Loud. If you look it up, I don't go. But go ahead.
He's a musician, and he said some adverse things about
people. He's a rapper.
A rapper. Yeah. And he said some very, very derogatory things about people who control that industry, and he's going to learn. I'll tell you, just in case for those at home that don't know, don't say nothing negative about gay people and or Jewish people, period, unless it's praise. That's it. Anything else is going to be under a lot of scrutiny and can be misinterpreted, and it can. These people have the money, and as a result, they control the industry.
As my man Tim said, the gatekeepers. And the thing is, you already know who the baby was, because the baby don't kill 20 black people on the record before, called a whole bunch of women bitches and hoes and stuff like that. But the thing is, drugs. But if he would have called a bunch of gay women bitches and hoes, killed a bunch of gay people and called and stuff like that, or sold, like Rodney said, sold a bunch of quaaludes and opiates to a bunch of gay people, he'd have been shut down first album.
But why? But I want to know, why would he say this? Like, in other words, we've seen this a million times. What would make you think to say something like this?
See, this is what I think. This is just my opinion. Like, some guys, you got to realize the baby's popping. He's on cloud 9 right now. Sometimes people get high on their self, and then what happens is you're around a whole bunch of people, do whatever you say, compliment you on everything. Everything's fire. Everything's dope. So the thing is, you lose a little bit of perspective on reality and who's really in charge. And I think that's what happens to some young celebrities. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think he makes it back?
That's a good question, and I can't answer.
If he hugs Elton John, he got to hug Elton John on stage.
In this case, he might have to sleep with Elton John this time. But the thing is, they're going to run him through the. He's gonna have to cow down tremendously to come back. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, he's already doing it. He's like basically on an apology tour. Like, he's on his page, just constantly still apologizing about it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't apologize, man. Don't say things that you're gonna have to apologize about later, man. Especially when you know how the game goes.
I think he's done. I think he's
done. I think.
I don't think he's been around long enough.
You understand something too, right? There's different levels. There's different levels to certain rappers, especially like the baby. Like, his big audience, he may lose that because now he's taken out of these huge concerts. But his small audience of basically the hood and people that got him started, on a street level, he's going to still keep that audience, but he'll never
make. The hood don't finance these guys, though.
Yeah, but the hood don't finance them. Yeah. But the thing is, independent artists still do very well.
Yeah,
especially if you're big. He still has a huge following.
Yep. And the thing I'm going to say is, I just want the LGBTQ to come out when it's stuff of harm to other people. That's all I'm trying to say. Because black people come out for your marches. I want y'all. If they're making bad music about killing people and all that stuff, come out then. That's all I'm trying to say.
And I'd like to say thank you, Dee, for everything you contributed to Let's Chop It Up. I want to say that.
Your ass is about to be out of here.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
I'm joking.
It's just like, it's just like they got to come out for everything. But I just want to mention real quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I want to make sure we get to the versus part. Rihanna has just officially become a billionaire.
Dope.com.
Dope. That's what's up. Shout out to Rihanna.
I need her to get me pregnant. Nah. But since we're on the music topic, man, we got a few minutes left here. Let's chop it up. Last night versus is the hottest thing going on the internet right now. This was great for hip hop. They stayed with over 600,000 views on the Versus Network alone. I don't know what they did on YouTube and other things. This was the biggest one to me and the best one. Gentlemen, your thoughts about the Versus? What did you get from? What was your takeaways from the Versus? Well, Rodney watched Versus. I think Kelvin, you say you watched it. Derik, you got to catch up on it. But what's your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to say this: if you need somebody to represent hip hop, send Jadakiss. That's all I got to say. Jadakiss represented tremendously last night. I thought not only did he show talent, he showed leadership. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Dipset was lacking, was leadership. I think it was more of a change show for them than it was basically showing their catalog. And they were lip syncing too.
Yeah. But
like Jadakiss and them were performing their songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I just didn't think that Dipset came. I don't think they came realizing what was at stake for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
It was a
Versus was trash.
Okay. I think I got it. She must be into country and western.
Yeah, but I found it very entertaining. I know, like in the words of the great Kelvin said, we ain't never gonna get nowhere. Too many people on the stage. They had to stop the show for that nonsense. Yeah.
And they would not move. They would not move.
They wouldn't move. They wouldn't move because nobody wanted to lose their place. It was amazing.
Well, this what I think it was. I think the Locks showed that they were superior. Yeah. I think the Locks came out with a plan. I think the Locks are organized. Jadakiss has already won a versus battle. He knew how it worked. I think that Dipset expected to be in Manhattan and get the crowd and come out on style points. And I don't think there's anybody in Dipset that is as nice as Jadakiss. I think Jadakiss is
and nice as
exceptional.
Luke, like a chic.
Yeah.
You know.
What I'm saying?
Well, I think to be
think
honest with you, I think everybody in the Locks is
We call him Debo. The Locks is Debo. Dipset is red and red.
Yeah.
Let me give you my take from what I learned from, and because people always feel as much as they hate Puffy, I always tell us those guys came under the Puffy camp, which you learn how to use stage, you know how to use your audience, you know how to have preparation. The one thing that Locks has never broke up as a group. They stay as a united unit. The other guys are all over the place. They don't like each other. They like each other. These guys perform and rehearse. Like Rodney said, Jadakiss already been on the platform of Versus. He already destroyed what's his name? What's the other guy name? Fabulous. So Jada right now, he is the Tom Brady of Versus. This guy's he's just taking rings and kicking ass. The other thing is when, like Rodney said, lip sync and all that stuff, and Cam came out too cool. When you come to battle rap, your energy gotta be on a different level. You can't be I'm Joe Cool. You can just dodge your hair and your beard, and you come out here and the stupid ass chains and the shit on you, and the dude had no teeth, and the freaky Zeke dancing all over the goddamn place. Like that was it.
Tell us how you feel, D.
It was horrible. And the thing is, and the thing, they didn't even get into their bag. They didn't all the way go into all the Locks bags still and beat them with their first 20. Like, let's take these right now. We ain't gonna go to the Grammy songs, too many of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when they had the J-Lo's and all that, they went a little bit. They didn't go, and then the freestyle, like my man Tim said on here, that was a nail in the coffin. He took the Biggie beat and killed it. Like, who shot you? He said, who shot you on Versus and had a new verse for who shot you?
Yeah.
Come on, son. It was horrible, man.
They were trying to be too cool, and like I said, it seemed like it was more of a chain show for them. You know what I'm saying?
And all the extra N-words was on there, man.
Yeah. But you're right. They didn't have the unity like the Locks have. The Locks have been together for years. From what I understand, like they're still like in business together outside of rapping. You know what I'm saying? But I take my hat off to Jadakiss, and that's why Jadakiss is one of my top 5.
You know what he did to me last night? I'm gonna tell you what Jadakiss did last night. You remember when Floyd Mayweather used to have that 24/7, and he'd sit down with the other opponent, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this to you, I'm gonna do that," and Mayweather used to be like, "Yo, it's gonna be different when you get out there, though. When you get out there." I remember he said that to one dude. He said, "Yo, when you get out there in front of all them people and those lights, it's gonna be different." And I think that Dipset got out there and it was different than they thought, because they came out with no. It was only 3 of them, and they came out. Dipset had 4 million people, and it was like, y'all ain't gonna do it. I mean, one time Jadakiss took Julio Santana bandana off and threw it on the ground like it was nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and most of those people standing on the stage was like Dipset. Like,
you know, right with that.
They didn't come with the right energy. They thought it was going to be a cakewalk. And like I said, they said they were trying to be too cool. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't work out for them. You know.
And the crazy thing, he said, "Yo, we from Manhattan. This is how y'all go first." And Jada was like, "No problem.
No problem." with a catalog like this, we can go first and we can go last, and then we go first.
You might not grab the mic yet, man. You might pull you all night. You might not get it.
To tell you the truth, like it's going to be amazing. That I think that. Do you think that this is going to affect the tour? Like, you don't think? Do you think people are going to be booing Dipset when they come out? But they're going to tour with the Locks now.
I think they should learn. Yeah, they're going to tour with them in state property. They should learn now how to have crowd participation and this be them on stage. They should learn from that. One thing also, and when I said they stay as a collective unit, Jadakiss, they use the Locks use a regular DJ. He knew what to play. He looked at the energy. He watched them. They had Cameron's DJ. Everybody has a different DJ, so they didn't know. He didn't know how to rock with Dipset. Dipset got, like somebody said, they got a whole bunch of one-hit wonder joints on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what I like. What I thought was really strategic, when Cam came with the New York song with Jay-Z, they already knew once they play that he countered. They countered with their New York anthem. Yep. And I thought that was brilliant. So they already knew. Like he said, I expected this.
They lined them up. He kept saying, lined them up.
Line them up and say, "Go now, y'all can play balling." And what they went right to balling. He had all. The planning is everything.
He never stopped talking shit to them either. While the whole time he was talking and laughing, he said, "Look at them, they're lip singing." He said, "New York, they're ripping you off." Yeah. They're ripping. He knew how to turn the crowd against them.
Yeah,
it's like a battle rap.
He said, "You gonna play? People could go there and come play Apple Music."
Yeah,
I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." This was a straight beat down of no other in hip hop music, and it's good for the culture. One thing I gotta say, this how it was no gunplay, young people. That's if y'all watch our show. There's no gunplay. This is about hip hop. This is how hip hop was. You can say what you want, Jap, and they dapped up. Now they all go get a bag. They're gonna go on tour together. That's what's dope about it. And hopefully,
here's what I got from the conversation. No unity. From Dipset, no unity, no cohesion, and it seems like they just kind of took it for granted a little bit. So I'm definitely going to catch up, get caught up, and watch the whole thing when I get a chance, man. You know what I mean?
I don't think now they got the Benny Siegel and Homeboy and what's it, Noriega is gonna do. I don't think that I'm gonna tune in, but I don't think it's gonna be worth it. They got a versus coming up. I don't know what David's coming in. Damien. Hey, yo, big up to Swiss Beats. Word up, Damien, with that. That just shows the production.
You know what he did.
Beats. And they didn't even go into the bag. They didn't even play the joints they have a drag on. They didn't play the Eve joints. I'm just thinking about, they could have really, if they could have went up another hour.
People don't realize the Locks, they're monsters. They've been in the game a long time.
Yeah.
And they had solid hits. Hits.
They've been listening to it like 19 years old.
Yeah.
They 43 now.
Yeah.
Beautiful for the culture, sounds like, man. I'm
good for the culture, bad for Dipset.
Well, they'll rebound, man. You know what I mean? They'll rebound. They just got to work at it. Sounds
they got to ride the wave like Cuomo right now. Right now, Black Internet is destroying them. All the memes is the funniest memes out there. I think Rodney, you said the only one we don't have a Freaky Zeke. So anybody in Black Internet, please get a Freaky Zeke one. This fool was dancing all over. Man at 43 should be dancing that much in a sweatsuit. They have some. Please get a meme with Freaky Zeke out there somewhere, man. But brothers, this was a great show tonight, man. I love chopping up with you, especially with hip hop and all this other stuff and news. But people, please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And also we have a social media page on Instagram too. So follow us, please like and subscribe, comment. This was dope, brother. I love you guys. I'll catch you next week. Peace, and
peace, y'all.
Peace.